or pressures, but Miles, Mason, Carson, Alex, just everyone getting in there. What was that like from your perspective to see in the secondary?
Yeah,
today?
I love that. I love seeing those guys in the backfield causing havoc. Rushing coverage work together. So it's just fun seeing those guys work, and they're going to help us out. We're going to help them out.
Does it say something maybe even about your own offensive line that they haven't really been getting blown up like that in 11-on-11s back home? So.
Yeah, I mean, we compete. Iron sharpens iron, so that's what it's been. We make each other better, and the D-line been getting our O-line better, O-line been getting the D-line better, and that's what it's all about.
Obviously, I'm sure you love going up against Devonta Smith.
Definitely.
I saw you guys having some conversations off on the side. So what were those conversations like?
Yeah, pretty much just talking ball, talking releases, talking what he sees when the guy's pressed, and just going back and forth. I'm just telling him what I see, and just having a great conversation about how we could better our game.
How do you balance not giving everything away that you see, but also trying to give him some tips on different things?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an open book. Once we get out there and play, I mean, regardless whether you know or not, is whoever the best man win that day. So I'm all about the competition. So. Yeah, I'm not one to hold any information, so it was all good.
How much does it help to go against a guy like Jalen Hurts who keeps plays alive, even when there might be a would-be sack or something, you keep it alive and be mobile? How much does that help you guys?
Yeah, it helps us a lot because we got to stay in coverage. I mean, we got to go against guys like Lamar, Burrow, guys who's capable of keeping the play going, so got to stay on our guys a little longer and plaster, so it's definitely great work out here.
When you see what went on up front today, how excited are you when you think of how the rush and coverage are going to work hand in hand this year?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. Those guys been working hard, and they're looking good. So looking fast and getting in, like I said, they're getting in that backfield, and we're going to help each other out this year.
Do you think this D line in particular is does it feel as deep as it did in 23 when you were the top ranked unit in the NFL?
Yeah, it definitely feels deep. I feel once that new wave of fresh guys come in on the D line, we're still capable of getting in the backfield. So that's been fun to see. And looking forward to that still improving.
Did you guys come in here with the express intention to really set the tone today defensively and kind of take it to them in a way?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was our mindset. We're trying to take it to them and trying to work hard and get better out here, regardless whether it was hot or not. And like I said, they're a great group of guys to go against Super Bowl champs. So we just want to come out and show that we're here to work too.
Denzel, Kevin talked about seeing different schemes, why this is so important for you guys, and you guys don't play the Eagles.
Yeah.
So how helpful is that in this preseason process to see a different scheme for you to get ready?
Yeah, it's real good. I mean, it's good going against our guys, but it's kind of we see the same things every day, going against the same guys. But getting a different look and different formations, going against different receivers is helpful because that's how it's going to be during the year.
When you talk about, everyone talks about how these joint practices are just such an important part of the puzzle when it comes to getting ready for the season.
Yeah.
As you kind of think through the different phases of training camp and sort of the build-up, how much, I don't know if you had to rank them or something, how much do the joint practices really give you what you're how much does that prepare you for the season more so than other things?
Yeah, I think it prepares us. I mean, it gets us ready for the season. I mean, just like the season, we're going to be going against different teams and going against those guys and getting different looks. So it's just like we're in the season already just before. So I think it's great work, and I like the joint practices.
What's it like that last period? I know they kept their Jalen in all 12 or 11 snaps, whatever it was. For your guys as younger guys and reserves to get snaps going against a QB like that, what can that mean?
Yeah, it means a lot. It's getting all of our guys ready. I mean, that's how the NFL is. There's no drop off when guys go in there. You got to keep the same level of intensity and still make plays.
Denzel, this obviously with Martin's injury, this opportunity for Greg. How have you seen him? I know he's been dealing with an injury, but how have you seen him kind of embrace maybe being that outside guy?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's ready for it. He's ready for the moment. But yeah, a lot of guys got a lot of great opportunities. Cam Mitchell, all those guys with our guy MJ going down. So great opportunity to be starters in this league and be out here and be a player for this team. So looking forward to seeing how all that plays out. Appreciate it. All right, thank you guys.
Check 1 2 1 2 3 4. Mic check 1 2 from Philadelphia. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8.
thought was good work. Was it a little sloppy offensively?
Say that again?
Was it a little sloppy offensively for the Browns today? Did you think?
Yeah, I think always there's things you'll take away from practice that you want to clean up and get better from. But that's with everything. Any practice, game, walkthroughs, there's good, there's bad, and there's things that you want to improve on.
So, Dillon, there's been obviously a new development today with the team telling us that Shador suffered an oblique injury early on in throwing drills. And I'm not sure what you know and what you don't know. But it looks now like you're probably going to get the start on Saturday.
Yep.
And so can you just talk about the opportunity that presents for you?
I have no clue what's going to happen. I'm just right where my feet are. But time will tell, and we'll see what happens. But that's up to the coaches, and we got a lot of time up to that point.
And if you do get the start, what are you looking to show? You've been out for a little bit with your own hamstring.
Yep.
How frustrating has that been, and what are you looking to show if you do get out there?
Yeah, no frustration, just things that you got to get better from, and things that you got to attack. There's times where you're trying to get better and things don't go your way in that way, but it's just daily work to try and get back. And I try to just stay in the moment. I'll look forward to that moment once it comes and be right where my feet are. But, I've known the best competitors have been be present and be themselves by competing at a high level, just one play at a time. So we'll see.
100% now?
We'll know here soon.
Have you ever dealt with a hamstring injury or another soft tissue injury like when you were in college or anything?
Yeah, occasionally. I think when you're competing for a long time, there's times within, the college periods, whether it's training or whatever it may be, where you have some time away and then you get right back. So it's just working through that process.
Just based on how you felt out there today, do you feel like if Kevin says, hey, we want to throw you out there to start this game, do you feel physically like you'll be up for that?
I don't know if I can answer that question, but I will say I do feel better from day one, and it's just been a good progression. So you just want to keep stacking it that way and keep feeling better. So I want to continue that trend.
What was the frustration like, while you're kind of having to wait, kind of...
There was no frustration, but keep going, sorry.
No, I mean, you've talked a lot about mental reps, and, stealing reps and everything like that. When you're injured, you at least were able out there and kind of watch the play, in real time. How much did that help you kind of not fall too far behind?
Yeah, I think for many people in any situation, you either look at things as a threat or an opportunity, and an emotionally healthy mind always sees it as opportunity. And for me, I just continue to try and be in that mental mindset and headspace. And every day is an opportunity. When you wake up, you can get better or, just coast. And for me, I'm always trying to get better. Mental reps, whatever it may be, even in the training room, right? Or in the weight room, there's things that you can get better at. So that's what I'm focused on. And because I have that good headspace, I'm just always focused on that every single day.
How much do you feel for Shador that he comes here for these important practices?
Yeah, it's the worst part about football is injuries. So.
Do you feel at this stage of preseason this is a critical week for you? Where you end up in the pecking order?
Every day is critical, though. So you probably ask me that next week and the following. Every single day is critical, and you have to approach it every single day like that because it's all you got, right? And you're only as good as your last outing. So yes, every day, everything's critical. Everything's important, and it's got to be that way when you're playing against a high-level team every single week.
Do you guys feel like you are going to have a resolve, like when you get together as an offense tonight, a resolve to come back and play cleaner ball tomorrow and hang on to it better and all of that?
Yeah, it's always our approach. You don't go into a practice thinking, hey, let's just give, you know what I mean? There's a way in which you want to practice, but you got to go do it. That's the end. It's got to translate from the class to the field, and you got to approach it a certain way because there's small details that could be the difference, and you don't know what will add up to be the difference in winning or losing.
You talked to Gage on Monday. Obviously, I think you, Shador, everybody's kind of built a pretty good chemistry. He's had a really solid camp. Just what's it been like to watch him sort of as an undrafted rookie
Extremely competitive. I think he approaches every single day a certain way, and you can feel that as a quarterback, and you appreciate it. And you also want to get the ball to him because you know he's going to make a play if there's a certain alert or a time where you can, maximize his ability. And I think he's just been very consistent, and that's what you need in a guy like him, and he's done that every single day.
Good.
Very good.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Joe, it seemed more drop passes today than we see in a normal Browns practice. What do you attribute that to?
I guess so. I guess I can think of a couple off the top of my head. Listen, I think when you're out there competing, you speed up a little bit. That's the natural thing. And so, like, being in these environments and learning how to, like, still go out and just play within yourself is a learning. It's a learning experience. I thought today was a good day for us. Not necessarily from that, but now that I think about it, that also. But the amount of reps we got today, a good football team. It was a good test for us today. It was a lot of good work.
Do you feel like you guys will kind of put your heads together and maybe in a meeting and have resolve to play cleaner ball tomorrow when you come out here against these guys tomorrow?
Honestly, like I think you do that every time you go and look at the tape, is you're trying to clean stuff up. But like I said, I mean, ultimately, like, you're here to kind of find out a little bit about yourself and grind a little bit and have a tough day. And I really do think that when we look at the film, we're going to be able to find out a lot about, what we are, and then just going through that together and, having a good, like I said, good, tough, competitive practice. I think it was a good day for us.
Did you sense a difference in intensity from last Wednesday to this Wednesday, the one in Carolina today?
No, it was just a little bit different practice setup. So it just kind of goes a certain way a little bit like that, Last week, we came out and did a couple 7-on-7s and a couple teams, and it was pretty kind of just like, all right, boom, boom, boom. And this week we kind of came out and had like a pretty traditional training camp practice where we're able to grind it through stuff a little bit. And anytime you have those practices where you're running 80 plays, you're going to have some ugly and you're going to have some good, and that's why it's about the competition, and it's about kind of finding out a little bit about what we are.
Joe, I know you didn't really get to see your own defense today, but watching them, it looked like the guys up front got quite a bit of pressure and found some success on the other field. So just how formidable have they looked throughout camp and deep so far?
We've been going against them every day, honestly. And listen, I think if you look at both of these teams, they got some really good players up front. That's where football starts. It starts up front. So if you can get those guys going, you have a really good shot to be a good football team. And I think we got one. So
What do you think you found out about yourselves today as an offense? You learned some things.
I think we found out, like, hey, we can push through some stuff. I think we also learned that, man, we need to learn that to a certain extent. We need to learn how to push through a little bit better, and stuff like that. But ultimately, it was good. I think it was a lot of good came from this practice. You need to have these types of days where you come out here and grind a little bit, and listen, like, we were going at a pretty fast pace here too, like on our side of the field, so we were grinding. Like, I think everybody on that field could feel that a little bit, and we want to be a team that plays with that. So that's a positive, to be able to go out there and run that many plays in that time frame and be clean in the operation. I think that was really good. I think you could feel that on both sides of the ball, where guys, it felt like we were running a lot of plays. But it went both ways. I think it was, like I said, I keep saying it, but it was a good test for us, and I think we found out that, like, hey, we got some guys that can kind of push through this if when we need to. So.
Joe, you've been in this league a long time, obviously. You've seen so many different versions of training camp, joint practices, all that. What do you feel, given your experience, like you specifically, individually, and a team gets out of a joint practice versus like even a preseason game or just like your standard training camp practice?
Yeah, I think sometimes. Everybody, I would say I've never loved, like, traveling and going and doing a practice against somebody else, but it's kind of what we talked about earlier. You have to, if in order to play this game at a high level, you have to be able to compete, but also not have your mind racing and get so revved up. Like, it's such an emotional game, right, for pretty much every position on the field, and you have to bring that to the field. How do you play with that emotion, but also be within yourselves and within the scheme and within all that, and then just concentrate on the basics of catching the football and running with the football? Like, how do you balance both of them? And I think being in an environment against a different team, it gives you like that experience, and then you can look back on it and say, man, why did I do this thing extra this time when I normally would have just taken 4 steps and caught the ball? Why did I decide to do a little bit extra at the top of my route? Next time I won't do that. Like, you don't need, so anytime you have like actual competition, I think when you have guys that are willing to like work through it and know that it's not always going to be pretty, you find out a little bit about how to like actually go into that competition and still relax and play.
Obviously, this quarterback situation has been kind of unique right from the start. The numbers with 2 drafted rookies with you coming back. As it has played out and some of the injuries have shifted the dynamics, how different has it felt to you? How has it affected your preparation?
It's interesting. I mean, I think you can probably sit up at night and think about different ways to approach these types of things, but all I'm doing is going out there and trying to take advantage of whatever I'm doing. I'm preparing as normal, training camp as normal. Whenever I get the rep, go out there and do the best you can. Play within yourself, relax. I think it is hard when you're only getting a couple reps here and there, because you try. It goes back to you try so hard to be perfect, and then usually you end up hurting yourself a little bit. But the last couple of weeks, honestly, I mean, it's been pretty good for me. I've got to get more reps and get comfortable, and feel like I'm doing things at a pretty high level, so I can't complain.
At the same time, they don't have obviously a competition going on. It looked like Hurts had 90% of the reps today. How does that contribute to the rhythm of the offense, not just you?
Yeah, no, that's big. Like it's obviously advantageous to have a guy back there 90% of the time. And you get going with everybody. You get to hear the cadence. You get to see how he operates and see how he does through tough times and good times. And yeah, that's all great. But in this league, the situation isn't always just laid out for you perfectly. You got to be able to adapt, and there's no excuses once it all starts. It's about winning football games no matter what. And that's the way I approach it.
Joe, Shedeur, the team told us that Shedeur suffered an oblique injury in early throwing drills. I'm just wondering, you know how tough that must be on Shedeur to have to deal with something like that. But did you have any words of encouragement for him? Did you know that was going on? And just kind of, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, he said something about it, and I don't know, what can I do? Oh man, sorry, man. It's kind of tough, we all want to be out there and getting reps, but hey, that's what training camp and football is all about. Sometimes these things happen, sometimes you got to deal with them, and it is what it is.
Dillon's coming back, from a hamstring. How have you noticed him kind of progressing, as he's gotten back into a flow of getting more, team reps type of stuff?
Me and Dan were just laughing. You guys like to ask me about these guys, and what if I just said honestly though, guys, we're in that room together and we're all doing things together. But when it comes out in this field, I'm not super worried about what Dillon's doing to get back from his hamstring. I'm focused on us getting better and us doing the best we can against Philly, and that includes him. You want to see him get out there and have good reps and do those things. But as far as him coming back and getting ready, listen, I know he's itching to get back out there. Anytime that when you're young and you're in a quarterback room that's having a competition and you don't get to be out there every day, that's tough. So my message to him would just be hey, don't press. Just go out there and be yourself. Just because you missed a little bit of time here and there, that doesn't mean that you have to go out and do extra when you get out there. Just go play your game, And so if there was a message for him, that would be it.
From a measuring stick standpoint, how valuable is this to go against the number 1 defense from last year, the Super Bowl champions, for you guys to really see where you're at?
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes when you get in practices like this, I don't know if you can truly say, oh man, we won today or we lost today, but you can find out about how tough guys are and the guys that stick it out and really stick their nose in there and step up to the occasion of playing against a good team, and they're not afraid to do it. And, you don't think that would happen at this level where you get guys that maybe get a little bit timid in certain situations. But, hey, people are, there's human nature in some things. And so I think you get to find out a lot about the mental makeup of your team in these environments. And, I once again, I think that was a good job for us today.
Just a couple more.
What was your impression of the Eagles' defense? They've had a lot of pieces change since last year.
For sure. It's such a small sample size. They look like they have some dudes up front, and they have some experience in the back end, whether that's experience of like years in the league or just guys that, have a good feel for the game. And they're very well coached. I know that. So they got a lot of things going for them.
Kevin said early on in camp that he wants to make a decision on who the starter is sooner rather than later. Do you kind of get the sense that, especially knowing next week he kind of likes to treat it as like a dress rehearsal, that this week is going to sort of set the stage for that decision to be made?
Kevin's Kevin, man. He's the one in charge, and I'm not really looking into when he's going to do things and why he's going to do things. As I've said, I'm just kind of going out there and being myself, and feel really confident about what I've been doing. So that's all I can do.
Very good.
Okay, thanks
all right,
so much.
thanks, guys.
See you tomorrow.